You were down in the mix when they were just kind of reviewing that last play. What was your perspective and what's your explanation on what they did?
Well, live, it just looked like the ball was going in, and then when I saw the replay on the scoreboard up top, it looked like Draymond touched the rim, and then I guess it's just a determination of did it impact the shot. I'm not quite sure of the rules, so I was sort of expecting them to overturn it, and but obviously they allowed it, and we escaped.
What did you just make kind of the whole closing minutes of that game?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, they took it to us the whole game. We really couldn't find much traction in the game. It was pickup game in the first half, and we had 12 turnovers first half, and we weren't playing very well. But I thought Jonathan changed the game late third with his energy and his force going to the rim. I thought Wiggs, his offensive boards in the fourth quarter were huge for us. And those two guys, in my mind, kind of shifted the momentum of the game and the energy of the game. And we climbed back in, with that third quarter close and then early fourth, we make a little push. So great execution. Second half, 3 turnovers. The ball moved. Guys knocked down shots. And we did just enough defensively because it wasn't our best night at that end, and they made 1,000,000 shots, but we did just enough down the stretch.
What did you think of Andrew's performance? I mean, it seemed like he was a little bit more aggressive in making more noise than we have so far.
I think for us to take that next step, Wiggs, JK, and Gary have to be the athletes that they are. They have to provide that force and speed and athleticism and at both ends, whether it's on offensive rebounds or, driving to the hoop, getting fouled, getting us some easy baskets. Those guys play at a high level. It just rounds out our team because we know we have, lots of skill and experience with our core group. But I thought that was really key tonight.
We've talked about this plenty already this season, but your closing lineup choices seem to be more, convoluted than ever. Did you feel that tonight when you mentioned JK and Wiggins? They were mostly out there.
Yeah. I mean, I tonight was a difficult decision because JK and Wiggs were playing so well. But we decided to go to Gary because he was fresh. He's our best on-ball defender, and they were killing us in small guard ball screens all night. And then Gary is a great finisher. I mean, he's basically a power forward in a guard's body, and he made that key hoop late off of Draymond's lob. He's got great feel around the basket, and so we went with Gary, but it could be 5 different guys next game. But right now, I think the guys are all just doing a great job of supporting each other and, really contributing when their chance comes and just accepting whatever decisions we make.
Following up on that, I kind of asked you this after the Kings game where Clay hit the game winner. Because last season, you guys really struggled to close tight games, especially a game like tonight where it wasn't all going for you. And now you actually have options of who you want to close. I mean, what is the difference there?
We need to leave last year in the rearview mirror. We have a decade of experience closing games, winning close games, winning championships. So last year was the exception. This year is the rule.
What does it say about your resolve that you guys were able to finish that you did?
It says we are who we are. We're, there's a reason, these guys have hung banners. They're wearing rings. They're good at this.
It seems like a message you're almost trying to get out there to stop talking about last year. I mean,
Yes. And I'm talking to you guys.
I'm wondering if that's even in the locker room. It's just
We don't talk about last year, but it does keep getting brought up, and obviously, Draymond brought it up himself the other night, so that's on him. But every year's different, but the track record of this team over the last decade, this is the norm, and. We add Chris Paul to this group, 13 assists, no turnovers. That's insane. I think it's now something like 54 assists, 6 turnovers on the season. So, yeah, we're back to kind of who we've been, but we've added, one of the great point guards of all time to the mix. And so, we got lots of work ahead, but we feel good about, our team and what our potential is.
You talked about all the championships and wins and so on and so forth, and yet this young team comes in here and goes blow for blow with you. Your thoughts on the Thunder coming up and they're without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander hanging right there with you guys at the very end.
Yeah, these guys are coming. You can everyone can feel it. You can feel it last year, and now they have Chet back healthy and obviously playing at a high level. He's really added a different dimension to their team. So OKC's coming, and they're loaded with talent, extremely well coached. So we know that they're going to be a factor all year. Thanks.
Mark, before the game, you said this was going to be a great opportunity for your guys to deal with a lot of distractions and a lot of difference and chaos. Certainly seemed like it lived up to that over the final few minutes of this game and throughout.
Yeah, it was a great game to be in for our team. I thought it was a classic game where every possession mattered. Obviously, right up till the end of the game, there was a lot of game pressure on both teams. Really, throughout the game, it was a true 48-minute game, which is no place we'd rather be. And there's no team we'd rather be playing than a team that's as battle-tested as they are. They were 2 points better tonight, but really happy with how we fought.
How do you think you guys handled it was such great game flow for such a long time, and then all of the reviews and stoppages and everything, that becomes a totally different game in the final few minutes there.
Yeah, I thought our situational awareness was really good tonight. I thought managed the game well, managed the clock well for the most part, managed the situations down the stretch, just crunch time, the game grinds down, becomes about execution. I thought generally we were pretty good there.
Intersect of the Athletic. Mark, did you get clarity on that final interference, why it was deemed not basket interference?
Yeah, they said he touched the rim, but not to the extent that it impacted the play. To be honest with you, I don't really know how the rule's written, but that was the explanation I got, assuming that that's correct. I mean, that's Secaucus making that call. Kane Fitzgerald's there. He's like one of the best refs. The only better place for Kane Fitzgerald is like in the game, but I'm assuming that they got that right.
Mark, you talk about this as a team on the other side that's been through so much. You guys have been through some games, but nothing like what they have, obviously. And I wonder what you thought about just the way Chet and Kaysen in particular, guys who haven't been through this at all in the NBA, handled the night.
Yeah, I thought really good, obviously. I thought Kaysen really calibrated. They're a tough cover because they're different from really everything we've been doing. It's just a different style. I thought he was a little bit... I thought he got better in the game, actually. First quarter, he was kind of figuring it out, and by the end, I thought he did a really nice job on Thompson and Curry at the times we put him on him. And Chet, obviously, those guys are just hoopers, clearly.
What are your overall thoughts on just like this being your first in-season tournament game, like the new floor and just the whole production of it? Yeah,
I mentioned before the game, I think, anytime you can alter the developmental environment for the players and put them in different situations that they have to adapt to, that's good for their growth. And so, different floor, the uniforms, the, commercials with the, the casino commercial, it just changes the development environment for them. It just gives them something else that they have to kind of cut through, because every game comes down to the same things inevitably, but the surrounding context of every game is different.
Yeah. Could you feel this game coming this week, or did it just hit you today?
No, not any different than a different game, or than any game.
Jerry Ramsey franchise. Could you talk about Lou Dort's game? Just kind of taking the offense on his shoulders for a little bit, just incredible outside shooting, and just being a leader on this team and being around.
And guarding a generational player for 30 minutes. So yeah, he's a gamer, man. We've seen time and time again. He just has a knack for rising to the level of the game. Always, he's always there when the game rises to a certain level. Tonight was no different.
Hey, go ahead, Derek, in the front, please.
What did you think of Jay Will in his first game back? Seemed like he was able to really connect the offense at times.
Yeah, does a nice job obviously there, and I thought I mentioned with Kaysen, I thought he got better as the game went on. Like, he seemed just like out of rhythm. He wasn't physical. I just, like, he bobbled a couple of rebounds, and it's just like, stuff where you haven't played in 3 weeks. And then by the second half, he was back to his old self. He really helped us. He spotted us really, really good minutes there. He executes really well on the defensive end of the floor, especially against this team. So it was great to have him back.
Giddey really struggled for a majority of the game. Then the fourth quarter, he kind of barreled his way to the rim a bunch to kind of get himself going. What are your thoughts on just his mentality of being able to keep coming like that?
Yeah, he always stays fearless. That's one of the things I respect about him competitively is, he doesn't shrink, regardless of the circumstances. He'll fail like any player, but he fails aggressively, and it keeps him alive, and in a game like tonight where he's obviously struggling, and then he got into a really good groove. I thought he was really physical on those drives. He got people off his body, and that made those shots higher quality, I thought, but, he stays in it competitively.
You guys shoot 60% from the field, 50-something% from three. They shoot 53% from the field, 45% from three. In a game where it doesn't seem like there was that many misses, did it seem like every possession mattered a little bit more down the stretch? I
mean, any game that's that competitive and that close, every possession matters, especially in a 2-point game. So that was definitely the case. I thought our execution was pretty good. I thought, that Sarge made 4 threes in the first half. Credit him. Peyton made a 3. Draymond Green made 2 threes in the first half. With all due respect to those guys, you'd rather them shooting it than Curry and Thompson. So some of that game plan execution on our part, and credit them. I mean, they made some plays.
Do you feel like, it's crazy to ask, but do you feel like you guys could have done more, or was it just they just were hitting shots?
We can always do more. We can always do more. There's always more to do. There's always lessons we can learn from it. I think, it's obviously a fun game to be a part of. It was a really competitive game. We do have to remember we're 6 games into the season. We have 76 games left. And the teams that improve with these experiences, are the ones that play their best basketball later in the year, and the ones that grow over time. And that's the team we want to be. So I think it's important that, this one stings. Obviously, you want to win, but we got to put it in its proper place and come back on Sunday and improve again, learn from it, keep it moving.
Mark, the defensive rebounds bit you a little bit again, and some of it seemed like in your hands and just couldn't hold on. What did you see on those plays?
Well, you guys keep asking about it, and now it's clearly in our heads, so we can't even grab the ball now. So if you guys would back off, that'd be great. Good effort, great effort tonight. And it's bounced the ball sometimes. But I thought, our effort was there, our engagement was there. Against them with the 3-point shooting, you have to have 5 guys in the rebounding area. It's not just in the paint. You've got to have a nose for it. We had some good long rebounds. We had good plays. We competed for the ball. There was a free throw block out that was huge where Dort ended up coming up with the ball. I thought our intent was really, really good there tonight. You're not going to be perfect in any facet, but we were doing the job there. That was much, much better than the New Orleans game.
Mark, you mentioned Lou guarding a generational player, but what about Kaysen as a rookie guarding 2 of the greatest shooters of all time? How do you think he did?
Obviously, same thing I said. It took him a minute to calibrate early. Thompson's first 3, he contested it like it was a normal player. He's not a normal shooter. But over the course of the game, he figured it out. And that's how he's been from the first day he's been in training camp. He's just figuring it out. He's got great capacity. He's a great competitor. He executes. That's the best thing about him. That guy executes and competes. So it makes it very easy to play him through learning experiences or mistakes because he's engaged in it and he's going to get better from it.
Anybody else? Thank you, Coach.
All right, sports. Lou, it seemed like tonight's game had kind of everything in it. Would you make of just you guys being second youngest team and getting that experience against 4-time champs?
It's good. It was a tough one. We fought till the end. We was competing, playing hard. We was going up and down and fighting. So it happens. It's basketball, but it's good to experience those type of games. This team had a lot of success in this league, so it's good to be able to fight against those type of guys.
You started 9 for 9. You had it going with the pump fake sidestep threes and everything. Just how did it feel out there in your rhythm? Yeah,
it felt good. I had it going. Teammates was finding me. We did a good job just moving the ball in general. I just had it going. I was hot. hard.
Lou, aside from, the color of the court, like, could you tell anything different about tonight with this being the first in-season tournament game? I know it was a great game regardless,
Yeah.
but could you feel anything different?
Yeah. Oh, well, a little bit. It's nice to see a different court like that, and the jerseys are amazing. So it was good. And I mean, at the end of the day too, we had the in our mind that there was an in-season tournament, and we wanted this win bad. But it is what it is. We still have a chance.
Andrew Schlecht of The Athletic. Lou, can you just describe what it's like to defend a player like Steph Curry in a pressurized environment like that?
It's not easy. He's who he is for a reason. He's a tough one. He makes a lot of tough shots. My main thing for me was just make everything tough for him. And, they had a bad start being in foul trouble, but other than that, he's a tough one.
And then no shade tonight, obviously, but as a group, collectively, you guys did a really good job of sharing the basketball and getting good shots. Just what was your mentality going into the game without your leader there?
Yeah, it was really the same mentality as we just had to do it together, move the ball, find the open guy. And I feel like we did a good job. We went out there and fought and compete, and that's the only thing you can ask for. So even though he was out, we still did a good job moving the ball.
You guys shoot 60% from the field, over 50% from three. They shoot over 50% from the field, 45% from three. Game where there's not that many misses. Did it feel a little bit more intense out there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're all trying to get stops, and you just see the ball going in every time. It's tough, but at least we did a good job competing and coming back and then finding the right shots for us. And but the game just came down to that. We all put a lot of points on the board, and they did good. Just finishing the game.
Yeah, Lou. I feel like we talk about the Steph Currys, the great offensive players all the time. That's kind of where this league is going. Can you kind of talk about like what it means to you, the players that excel on both ends of the court?
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of work that I do don't really show up on the stat sheet, and to really go out there every night against a great scorer and to make everything tough for him. So, in my mind is that and make everything that I can do to help my teammates. So, it's a tough challenge every night, but at the same time I work for that.
Can you also talk about the conditioning that goes into it? Because, I mean, offensive guys go hard on the offensive end, take breaks on the defensive end. You have to go hard on both ends. I mean, we're guarding a generational great pretty well, and then going for 16 in the third quarter. So.
Yeah, this time I had to learn, coming into the league, just diet, taking care of my body in the off season, just getting myself ready to compete every night against a tough challenge. It's not easy, but at the same time, I just gotta make sure I put some good food in my body. I guess I get my rest, and but it's not easy.
Lou, those guys, the Warriors have been through so much together and 4 championships and so much of their course together. You guys start 2 rookies who've never been in a situation like this at all. What did you think of just how Chet and Kaysen handled the situation today?
They competed, and they play really hard, and that's a big thing that we emphasize here is that you go out there and you play hard and you compete, and which they did. They really didn't back down, even though we playing against a team that had a lot of success in this league. So, I'm proud of them, and that's how they should approach every game.
You were going to have similar matchups with Kaysen. Just did you have some extra scouting report to give him, kind of because he was going to be doing the same thing and like stuff that you've done before that maybe you can give him some helpful hints?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we was talking the whole game, just in our switching and everything, and we just did a good job just listening to each other and making the right plays on the defensive side. And my main thing that I told him was just make everything tough. They're gonna make some tough ones, and it's basketball, so So just make everything tough, which I feel like he did a good job.
Anybody else? Thanks, Lou.
Thank you.